Okay, so hey guys, I have two things that I'd like to talk about before I go into the channeling today. And the first thing is, so I finally got my sound healing certificate. So it was a year-long course in sound healing. And in the course of the healing, I had to do healing for 20, I think I had about 20 sessions or more. And I've found, just recently I talked to one of the people that I did a session for. He's also a guitarist, and he had a problem with his finger, and he wasn't able to play. And it was a injury that, he had gone to the doctor, and he had done all these things, and it wasn't healing. And so I asked him if I could, work on him to help complete my course. And we did, and he seemed quite just not distrustful, but he would tell me that it's not working, this is not working, it's still the same. And I just met him a few days ago, and it's pretty much completely healed. And I thought that was really interesting. And then I was talking to someone else that I had done the healing on, and they were healed, completely healed. There was nothing there. So, and I thought, that's pretty interesting. And I was reading through the Course in Miracles. At the end of Course in Miracles is, after you finish the Course in Miracles, there's a small book called The Manual for Teachers. And I was just flipping through it and reading through it, and there's this one chapter called Is Healing Certain? And it talks about how that once you ask for healing, so once you ask the universe for something, and once you heal, then it is done. Like there is no question of whether or not did it work or did it not work. There is no work or not work. It's you've offered a healing, and the healing is there. But the timing is not your responsibility. It's not, so it could be instantaneous, or it could take a year. So it's all about, it's all about, I guess, the universe's timing, and it's not about your timing or the patient's timing. And so one other thing about this healing is also the idea of atonement. Now, many people have heard this word. I heard it too growing up in Catholic school. Atonement, you have to atone for your sins. Atone, it means that you have to kind of suffer for your sins, and you have to take a whip and whip your back, or whatever it is. And it's so funny that that's not the word. Atonement is not atonement, it is at-one-ment. It means becoming one with everyone around you, because they are all you, and you are all them, and we are all God. And once you become one with them, that is where the healing happens. So once you become one with yourself, you can become one with them. And then they realize that this sickness, or whatever it is that they have, is just an illusion. Because how can you be sick if you are God, right? So that is the concept. But so anyway, let me read. I'm just going to read this. It's a bit long. And again, feel free to skip to the channeling if you'd like, or whatever you'd like to do. I'm just going to read this thing because I thought it was super cool. Okay, so here we go. It's called Is Healing Certain? Healing is always certain. It is impossible to let illusions be brought to truth and keep the illusions. Truth demonstrates illusions have no value. The teacher of God has seen the correction of his errors in the mind of the patient, recognizing it for what it is. Having accepted the atonement for himself, he has also accepted it for the patient. Yet what if the patient uses sickness as a way of life, believing healing is the way to death? When this is so, a sudden healing might precipitate intense depression and a sense of loss so deep that the patient might even try to destroy himself. Having nothing to live for, he may ask for death. Healing must wait for his protection. So that just, of course, means, not of course, but that means that, of course, that means that some people might not be ready for healing. Okay, next. Healing will always stand aside when it would be seen as threat. The instant it is welcome, it is there. Where healing has been given, it will be received. So there we go. Where healing has been given, it will be received. And what is time before the gifts of God? We have referred many times in the text to the storehouse of treasures laid up equally for the giver and the receiver of God's gifts. Not one is lost, for they can but increase. No teacher of God should feel disappointed if he has offered healing and it does not appear to have been received. It is not up to him to judge when his gift should be accepted. Let him be certain it has been received and trust that it will be accepted when it is recognized as a blessing and not a curse. It's amazing stuff. I guess I'll just stop there. I don't want to go on too long reading all this, but if you do have a chance, all of this is online for free. It's the Manual for Teachers, Chapter 6, about healing. So anyone who's a healer or interested in healing, I would suggest it to you. So yes. All right, so that's my one spiel about healing. And my other spiel is about, so my last video was talking about the Miwa Jinja and how I was being called to it. And so recently I've been doing a lot of research into dragons. I do communicate with a dragon. Her name is Tiamat. And I have also been communicating with a lot of dragons at the shrines all around Japan. And there are a lot of dragons. And I've been doing a lot of research into dragons and also like snakes. So, for example, there's the Nagas, Nagas, and they are found in Hindu religion. They're found. You can find statues in Egypt. There's a famous Naga. So a Naga is like a snake person or a snake being. You can find many in Cambodia. In Cambodia, they believe that they are the descendants of the snake people. So if you ask someone, we are the descendants of the snake people. And so for me, it's a very, very interesting idea because in this very, very peaceful country, so this concept of dragons in the West dragons symbolize evil, or the snakes symbolize evil, or the devil, or all of these kind of things. And it's kind of the opposite here. I mean, snakes are nature spirits, dragons are nature spirits. So like the spirits of rivers are usually dragons, and the spirit of the wind is a dragon. And when I go to a lot of these shrines, and I'll be talking to they have a lot of white dragons at the shrines, little shrines for white dragons. And I've been talking to them, and I find this amazing, amazing energy from them. And so I've been doing a lot of research about that. And one thing, so the thing I wanted to talk about today is that in America, there are Native American tribes that would build mounds. They would call them, mounds. And in Japan, there are many, many mounds, exactly the same sort of thing. They're built all over the place. And then a lot of other mounds, there are shrines built on top of the mounds. And so it's a very interesting idea, this connection between the Native Americans and the Japanese. So this is also very interesting. So I have a feeling that all of this is very much connected, and so that's what I'm researching. So that's my spiel, and that's why I'm very interested in this Miwa Jinja, which is a mountain god that reveals itself as as a snake. So I'm very interested in this concept of we're so used to this idea of like a negative idea of creatures like snakes or dragons, but I'm very interested in the positive side too, because as we know, everything has a yin and a yang, an in or a yo, which is how they say it in Japanese. But everything has the two sides, just like humans. We have, the two sides. I'm very interested in exploring this more, and so that's my spiel. It's quite a long spiel today. So yeah, again, feel free to fast forward, no one uses fast forward anymore. Feel free to jump to the channeling, which is going to start now. So I'm going to call in my guides and see if they have anything to add to that, or if there's anything else they want to say today on another very cold day. Greetings, it is I, Tiamat. And yes, I am working with this being, and we are working together on researching together. Well, he is doing the researching, I am doing the helping him and guiding him in the different ways to find the different information that he needs to find. And he was guided to go to this shrine. And we had preferred for him to go to the shrine alone, but he did not, and there was too many people there, and it was very hard for him to get the information that he needed from the shrine. So we have guided him to go again today, when there are not so many people there. And yes, so this is something that we would like to help to bring through him, is this concept of the dark and the light, and that in every situation they are both there. And this is so important for all of you who are growing and ascending and becoming more of who you really are, is for you to understand that there is always a balance. There is always a balance of the dark and the light, of the yin and the yang, and this balance is something for you to understand. And once you understand the balance, then you can get to the next level above that, which is realizing that there is only the light. But you have to understand that the light and dark are in a perfect balance, and that in every place that you see the dark, there is also the light. In every place that you see the light, there is also the dark. And that within all of this, it is very important to not judge either way, to judge the light or the dark. This is dark, this is light. Everything has the yin and the yang in it. That's why this symbol is such a powerful symbol. It is the key to your ascension, understanding that they both exist here, and that your goal is to go beyond it and just to forgive and accept and to understand that they both are there and they both have their purpose and they're both there for a reason, and then just to see it and maybe you don't understand the reason, and that's okay. But if you can forgive and accept, then you can overcome that and go to the next level where you see that we are all light and we are all one. As this being was talking about, atonement, at-one-ment is part of the ascension process for all of us, and we are all searching for this place. All of us who are on this path, we are searching for the way to become one, to become one with all of our brothers, and to understand how we can live in this world. All right, so yeah. Ciao.